Sometimes from the streets of Rome to the heart of Harajuku, a single man can turn Doodles into an empire that worked with Marvel, Hello Kitty, and even high fashion. Sometimes these doodles end up on sneakers, toys, and even apparels as well. But sometimes these doodles can turn into a universe with millions of fans around the world. And sometimes it's Tokidoki. My name is Yumiko and welcome to Shelf Life. So, as you can tell, today on set with me is the creator, the owner, the artist, and the founder of Tokidoki. Hello, Simone.
Hello, thank you very much for welcoming me here.
Thank you for coming here. It was so hard to capture your time, so I'm really very excited. I hope you're happy with the entire setup, that we actually got help from Action City and a couple of friends of mine to bring all of your things right here in the studio.
Yes. So, thank you very much for having me here. First of all, I think, I'm the artist of Tokidoki, and but it's not a single man. It takes a team. I have a fantastic team. I have fantastic fans, and I have a business partner that she invested all her life into believing what Tokidoki can become. So yes, I'm the artist, but a co-founder and co-owner of Tokidoki. Yeah, okay, just to be specific.
So, yeah,
and I thank my team. I have a fantastic team. I have licensees. I have partners like Action City that put their heart and soul and believe into my work.
It is amazing. I mean, thinking back in terms of history, it's 20 years in this business, right? And it's gone globally crazy. I mean, to be honest with you, I grew up with Tokidoki. And the couple of caps that you see here, they're actually my own collection.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And I would have to know, I think everybody wants to know, what was the very first character that you created?
No, I was thinking about it, but honestly, I don't remember because when I'm drawing since I'm a little boy. I mean, it's everything I've done in my life, especially because my father was a bit stingy, didn't buy me much toys, so I was always drawing, and and during elementary school, high school, and design school. So professionally wise, I had the characters that as everybody that tries to do art go through a process. So I invented like many characters that were like very generic and maybe would not have a commercial success or would not have an impact on the society, on what became my fan base after. So yeah, like I don't remember my very first. I've done a lot of little rabbits, little cats, little little monsters all over my life before.
Yes, because we can see all of that print on luggage cases. We've got laptop cases as well. Yes. And you even have a collaboration with something very local here, Singapore Airlines.
Yes.
That we have on the table. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, thinking about it, it takes a lot of time and creativity as well. So are your characters inspired by your life or your travels or just anything that you see?
No, I always call Tokidoki the diary of my life. It's just, it's a life path. So it's a mix-up of things that I experienced in life and experience every day. And I'm always excited about my job. And I'm lucky enough I can put, new art and new inputs to other outside there, and nowadays millions of people can see it. So yeah, it's just it started. I'm Italian, so I have my own hand that it's very unique comparing to like the cute characters that are designed, let's say in Japan or all over Asia. And of course, I'm inspired by Japan, not just the kawaii culture, but even when you see the Tokidoki girls, they were inspired by the Japanese woodprints, like very bidimensional, very gentle, very feminine. And then, and then there is many icons. I started to mix this kawaii with a lot of, like, let's say, rock icons, like skulls, like flashes. And I was 10 years in a punk rock band when I was in Italy. And I was into the skateboarding culture when I was a teenager, when there was the first wave ever. And then I lived 16 years in LA, and I go up and down. So Americana and all the cultures and subculture of America, like could be, like the mostly street graffiti, sneaker culture. influenced me very, very much. So it's really a big mix-up. And then I travel all over the world, and I took so much input from China. I'm very obsessed about dragons and the opulence of certain of their language. While Japanese can be very minimal, like China can be very redundant. You say in English maybe, and then Thailand and Mexico. Even living in LA, like very much the Latino culture influenced me very much in terms of colors, in terms of certain imaginary.
Imaginary, okay, yeah. Well, I can see how it has really shaped the entire brand. And out of all the characters under the Tokidoki universe, which one would you say best represents you?
It's extremely hard because, all of them are me, right? It's just my expression, it's of the different corners of my personality. But today I was thinking about it, and maybe I think Adios. Many fans would think it's strange because, but I think I like Adios because it's. He's not too cute, but he's very, very romantic, and and I think as much as I like all the cool stuff, I mean, I draw hundreds of unicorns for a living, so I must have that sort of a sweet part of my personality.
I would say that your art has actually brought a lot of kids through very dark times as well. I would say, you brought them out into the light. A lot of kids in my time when I was growing up, we found a lot of joy opening your toys because they were cute, they were happy, they were very bright in color as well. So I always wanted to know, do you think that your work, do you fear that it's gotten too cute and too commercialized, or you feel like, nope, this is entirely what Tokidoki is?
No, there is not a real strategy. It's just, I think it's very organic, very genuine, very human. I think this is what makes my brand unique in its own way. I mean, I have every type of fans. Could be like the guy doing MMA to the grandma coming with the granddaughter, and then a huge variety of people. Is like a truly inclusive brand. Before the word inclusive was even cool, we started just art is for everybody. If I can touch somebody's heart and I can make them smile, or and making maybe hug a plush, and make them happy. This is the sense of my life. And many of people, especially here in Singapore, knows that I started for almost 20 years to do signing events. I meet people. I spend hours with them, even if I start to get older and tired. But I do it generally because, and I will not stop until I will be in the shape of doing it. I just did it in San Diego Comic-Con. I've done it, in many, in Los Angeles in the past weeks, in Santa Monica. I want to share, my art and the joy that I have from fans. I want to give it back, and it's something that will never change until I can do it.
Wow, that's very sweet. So, growing up, I've seen a lot of your products, okay? So I'll tell you, I've seen bed sheets, I've seen car wraps, I've seen Barbie dolls, I've seen toys, my own caps as well, to bear bricks, right? Yes. Out of all the collaborations in the world, which one would you say is kind of like a few of your personal favorite collaborations?
Yes, exactly. As I was saying, it's all part of me. So I'm very happy for Karl Lagerfeld, very happy for Singapore Airlines, very happy for Hello Kitty because it's the kawaii part. Maybe Marvel because it's my comics nerd part of the world. But I think the most difficult thing that I achieved is the collaboration with the Vatican. I'm Roman.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the. I think no. I've done something that is so historically unique. Nobody from pop culture could ever enter the walls of the Vatican. And I'm a kid from Rome, so we grew up, under, the majesty of the Vatican, and independently from the religious belief, it's just to do something so significant. And actually, this luce this character I created really like became probably like even my favorite character. Like it's the one that means the most for me because it brings a lot of joy to a lot of people, as I think as many of my characters. But yeah, that was something really, really to bring kawaii culture inside the Vatican that it's historically, traditionally like conservative,
Yes.
and to bring something so new as a communication tool, because like when I went to the Vatican, so basically the way I could get to the Vatican, which is not the easiest thing in the world, it was because I worked with the Italian government for Expo Saka and I made the mascot. So somehow I entered in touch with the Vatican government as well. And then, there was this event called the Jubilee in 2025. It's an event that happens every 25 years. So it's very like 4 times in a century. It's very, very unique. And the way I went there, I said, I want to have a chance to pitch and talk to them. So I had like, this Archbishop, Monsignor Fisichella, I could speak with. And then the way I presented it was like, we live in an era of entertainment. We live in an era of like, Roblox gaming, like characters everywhere, Hello Kitty, and this is what really like the youth absorb. So as a tool of evangelization, like, to speak to young, to young Catholics or like future Catholics, why don't we use this language? Like I says, Olympic, World Cup, Expo, everybody has a mascot. Why the Jubilee doesn't have a mascot? And I knew I was trying to do something very, very difficult and very historic, but I'm very proud that it was accepted as an idea. And I think it's the thing that I'm the most proud in my career. I think so.
I think that too. I mean, I agree with you. It is very hard to even enter the entire scene of working with the Vatican City, right?
No, and then, like all the, I don't want to compare myself, but all the top artists of the Western history, like like from the Michelangelos and Caravaggios and, I've been working with the Vatican, so I gave my little tiny
Yeah, but you
contribution.
did it. So congratulations.
Yes.
That is really very crazy. So I have to ask you, right, if you asked yourself maybe 20 years ago, did you ever see Tokidoki becoming a global brand?
I definitely, people that knows me, I'm an extremely humble person, but I dream big, and I'm very hard-headed, and I always yes, I would not. It was wonderful to move to LA, but I sacrificed so much in my life. I left my town. I left my city, Rome. I left my parents. I left many things behind, and it was a life of complete sacrifice. I work 18 hours a day, and I felt like with all the sacrifices, I had to do it big, and thank God, speaking about the Vatican, thank God, I had the perseverance and the right people, and with many up and downs, because it's harder than people believes. It's very, very hard, but it's not. When I speak global, I want one day to bring, Tokidoki. There is so many. It will be endless because there is so many corners in the world. I don't know, like Togo, Tonga, or like places in the world where I would like to bring my artwork.
That is lovely.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that to happen. I'm actually really excited for you. But talking from a business point of view, right? What would you say was your biggest risk that you took in building this entire company?
So first, there is many risks in business. Business is all about risk. I think if you are not brave, you don't become an entrepreneur in general. Yeah. So the biggest risk, first of all, and I was extremely lucky, was to choose a business partner. It's more complicated than getting married, And I have a fantastic business partner, Puna Mohajer. But if that gets wrong, you just have to, it just destroys all the dream. And we trust blindly to each other. And never had a real single bad conversation, because money changes people, and there is people that money can't change, and I strongly believe that both me and Puna can't be changed, and even if we talk about billions, there is nothing like would betray each other. So this is the biggest risk. And then speaking about the day-to-day business, what is risky, because as every business there is many downs, many, even if it's you see all this shyness, but there was moments in our careers, could be COVID, could be the financial crash in America in 2008, could be like some retailer going bankruptcy that owes you money. But every business person, I think, arrives to a point that sometimes has to like borrow money. So it's a responsibility, and it's like to have debt. It's something you have to do it sometimes, and and then important is to pay back and work hard, and thank God it was. But we had the situation like this, and I'm just telling it with no shame, because it's part of being a businessman, and I'm sure many people will understand this
Wow.
situation. Yeah.
I think, a lot of our viewers, they are also artists themselves,
Yeah.
and they take a lot of inspiration from you, right?
Yes.
Coming from a humble town, scaling and sketching all the doodles in a book and taking it globally.
Yeah.
What is your number one advice to a young artist?
No, I don't want to seem redundant, but first of all, stay humble. But it's not just about your image, it's about yourself, Because if you stay humble, you want always to do better and better and better and better. And this is what I do. I'm never happy. Like when I see some products, I say, I could have done better. Maybe I'm too strict with myself. So it's even always a constant research for improving. And especially the times now are so fast, and there's so much coming out. So you always have to keep on improving and updating yourself. And that's the first thing. And then I think you should look for inspiration not from other artists, which actually can inspire you, can motivate you. When I see beautiful art, let's say I go to a museum or I go to an art gallery, I just want to run back home and work, like that type of rush. But there is young artists that they want to do a mimic of some other artist that maybe use some pop icons and stuff. And I think in a society like this one, where everybody see all the time certain things, I think to look for being unique is very difficult. So I think you should just dig into your own thing, and the world out there is much more interesting than being on Instagram and just capture something from out there.
Wow, hopefully somebody learns from that, of whatever you say, and keep it to their heart. You were talking about Instagram. It is I would say it's the largest marketing tool right now, okay, besides TikTok, of course. These two.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok, but yes, absolutely.
But which business collaboration actually taught you more about marketing?
There was three. I mean, as you know, I'm not a kid, so there was different stages. So marketing-wise, let's say when it was early 2010, 12, I've done the collaboration with Sephora. So it was like LVMH group. So fantastic marketing team. So the way to manage mostly the offline marketing was a great, like the way they were managing the press, the way they were managing the window displays and that type of stuff. Then, very, very, very recently, 1 month ago, which is a new generation, working, for example, with McDonald's Singapore, I was like, I have to review this PDF. I still remember it's 117 pages. I was like, oh my God, like how it's timed, how it's perfected every post or every sort of marketing activity. And then, business-wise, I think the biggest experience I might have had is recently we have done our first animation, with the Thunderbird Entertainment, Atomic Cartoons, and Warner Brothers is our partner. Actually, I think that here in Singapore there is some kind of Cartoon Network. Yeah, I think it told me a fan, so I might be wrong, but that's what I heard the other day. And that's, as a businessman, that's a complete new world, because entertainment has a different way of there is a capital, and the capital maybe comes a bit from the streamer, a bit from the licensee, a bit from the toy partner, and then you have somehow to pitch to to different markets, like to different streamers around the world. So it was something very, very completely new, even the way you have to manage the IP rights. And like it's a completely different logic. So for me, it was like, oh wow, this is a little university degree somehow. Yeah.
Learning new things every day, right?
Every day, yeah.
Yeah, with growing the business, it is definitely getting bigger and bigger. But I see that, like you mentioned, you take time out to do your meet and sign stuff, right? Whether it's locally, overseas, at conventions as well. So what is the craziest or weirdest fan story you can share with us?
I was thinking, for me, it's normal, but for me it sounds a little bit still weird when like people like just ask me to, they just sort of undress or they show me their tattoos, So I've seen like full backs, I've seen full arms, full legs, and even like a girl, like she just opened the mouth and showed me, inside the mouth she had like the Tokidoki logo. And, like for me, I think tattoo is the most, there was people maybe waiting, sleeping before my signing, but I think tattoo, even if it's something so normal, it's something that for me it's probably like the biggest way of exposing the fandom and the care, like to keep these people wake up every day and see my artwork, and the artwork becomes part of them and their personality and the way of self-expression. So for me, it's just something. Just for me, it's crazy. It's crazy, wonderful, and sometimes I just say, Simone, you have to be always a good guy, because I don't want these people like to say, oh, I'm wearing the artwork, for life of I feel it. I have a huge responsibility. So.
Wow. Okay. Very family guy, very fatherly as well. I can see that. Very nice. But I have seen, you're right, I have seen a couple of your fans who do have that full sleeve tattoo.
Yes.
And it's really of different characters that they have pieced together for themselves as well. So, thank you so much for spending time here. I need to ask, okay, what is something, without spoiling too much, you can reveal to your fans and friends on the show of what they can look forward to in terms of Tokidoki in the world?
I don't know, people knows that I work very hard, so it's growing. It's definitely growing and going. I think there will be more and more categories of product. But what I really strive, even for my personal accomplishment, it's like you will see much more painting. I really love painting so much. It's the thing that makes me most happy in the world. And I invested so much of my time to create, with my business partner, this sustainable business. And I would like to dedicate more and more time to fine art. I grew up loving paintings, and there is nothing like when I see the acrylics or under my brush or my spatula or my fingers, it's just the biggest happiness that I have. And so I would like to paint more and more. I'm working actually on a show with the Vatican, and and more to come. Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited because I'm about to get my new place, my new house.
Yes.
I would like to have your art piece hanging in my corridor. That would be one of my biggest accomplishment. And also a simple request, okay, can we have more shoes with Tokidoki?
Yeah. We don't have anything really we don't have anything in the pipe, but especially guys, we love sneakers. So I have to get into it.
Yes, more shoes, please, because I've been trying very hard to get into the.
Because we've done Onitsuka for 4 or 5 years. Then recently we had for a couple of years, I think, Skechers.
Yes.
And let's see what's going to be the next.
I'm excited. Let me know. I'll be the first to know.
Thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so before I let you go, out of everything here, what is your number one favorite that you would bring home right now?
As a businessman, I would take this one, which is the most valuable to resell. But me, I have a passion. I've done 15 bear bricks in my career. 14, but 15th is to come. And then it's probably like the tiger The tiger bear brick. Yeah, the big. I mean, I'll take the big one actually. Yes,
The big one
not
is
that one. That
multiple.
one. Yeah, I'm greedy.
All right, thank you very much for being here on set with me. It's been so fun, and I hope to catch you the next time you're back in Singapore to see your new collaborations around the world. And hopefully you enjoyed this episode as well. For more to come, stay tuned to Shelf Life. Bye-bye.
Bye.